What's up, people? Hello and welcome back to the Cup Chasers podcast. Thanks for being here. Thanks for listening. It's looking like a wonderful, wonderful weekend in the Premier League. Liverpool hosting Manchester United, looking to be a massacre. Palace are at Manchester City, another massacre. And of course, Arsenal hosts Brighton, Chelsea hosting Sheffield United. And we're going to try to get to all of it this evening. Of course, the Champions League has played as well, so we'll take a look at that as well. But right out the rip, let's go ahead and get them likes up. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. We are on our way to 200 subscribers. Hit the little notification bell so you know when the next video is popping up. And we will go ahead and hop right into it. I think we can start. We'll leave the main course for a little bit, and we'll start with Chelsea hosting Sheffield United. It's a must-win. Absolute must-win.
Sadly, yes.
I mean, every game at home is a must-win, right? But there's a lot. I'm just saying there's lots of pressure at the moment due to results, the environments at the club. How much pressure is there on Pochettino?
None.
Yeah.
But if you lose this game,
still none.
What?
None.
That's a sackable offense in and of itself, no?
Still none.
None.
You guys
They
don't.
want it. They
You
want
guys don't sound happy about that.
Pretty much, they want to see him through the summer. That is kind of what came out this week. I guess if there's a huge, terrible run of form, losing this one, losing next week, losing, the Wolves, and then of course losing on the road to Luton, I think that would change things clearly. But there's no pressure right now.
I'm shocked at that. I'm shocked to hear you say that. There has to be.
I agree. But
that was a horrible loss last weekend.
Supposedly there is none.
That's shocking.
I kind of go back to what X said. You see some development of talent. So it's one of those things where sorry, I'm writing down my picks. It's one of those things where I think if there was like a brick wall of sorts when it comes to talent developing, I think that there would be okay, let's take a step back, let's reevaluate. But everything that I've read, it seems like that he didn't get a vote of confidence by any means, but the word is that there's not even any discussions right now changing.
No, none.
Which, I mean, however you take that, I mean, I don't know who you would change for, first off, truthfully.
Right.
I think that's part of the issue. I think also they want to give him the chance to kind of play his way out of it. And I think he can. I mean, that starts this weekend. If he doesn't this weekend, then you start to point fingers and be like, But he's not left. I mean, he's not lost the locker room for sure. Locker room is 100% behind him. So, however I may feel about his tactics.
About Levi Colwill at left back?
Right.
Yes, I'm trying to wind you up.
That's a trigger. No.
It's better than Sterling at left back.
Yeah, this is true. I don't foresee any changes coming.
No.
And we'll see if that's the right decision or not. I do think that we have a chance to kind of get some momentum, especially playing at home. If there's one thing that you notice with this team, they play well at home. Usually, I mean, the Brentford game, the Forest game. But I think that was also, we had so many injuries that were just happening left and right. And I know we have injuries now, but it was not like, oh, this guy's out again. And we just lost this guy in training. And that, also, there's talks of a sub appearance for Nkunku this weekend. He wasn't ready last weekend. He has been actively training now for 2 weeks. Lavia was training this week as well, so we might be getting pretty close to there. I think the idea is if you have Lavia and Caicedo with Enzo, you kind of like that lineup. Kind of take some pressure off of Gallagher in a sense. Gallagher's got to perform. There's no question about that, especially after last weekend. And he was directly in the first goal. I mean, directly. I just not really sure what we're going to do in the transfer window. It's supposedly 3 in and 4 out. I think is a plan.
We'll see.
Who knows?
See.
Osimhen got a release clause on his contract. I've heard 130 million euros. I've heard 120 million pounds. It's
crazy. That's insane.
Crazy. Stupid.
That's absolutely insane.
But okay, so I agree it is, all right. But when you're dealing with ADL and Napoli, if you at least have okay, this is the furthest they will go, that helps because he pulls some crazy stuff to keep people. And more power to him. It's his club, all that. But they are so annoying to deal with because he just keeps raising the price. Oh, it's 50 million. Now it's 75. 75? No, we're going to go to 100.
He knows how desperate you are.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not just us. He does that with everybody. Napoli's terrible to negotiate with. I even think when we were trying to get Jorginho from Napoli, it was a little bit ridiculous how it all went down because he just kept raising the price. And it was because Sarri had just left and he was pissed about that. So he just kept raising the price.
Yeah.
And it was like, dude, come on. And I think, if I remember right, I may not remember correctly, but I think Jorginho actually handed in a transfer request at that point.
Had to force it. Yeah.
It got a little crazy.
Well, based on that, no one's getting Osimhen for easy at all.
Oh no.
They're gonna have to come out of pocket for it.
Yeah. What up, Lewis?
What's going on, bud?
What's up?
How you doing, man? How you doing? I'm wondering, getting back to the game at the weekend, it's gonna be low. It's gonna be like super low block FC.
Yeah.
Like super low block FC. So they might camp the box.
Oh, I fully expect it.
Classic Jose style. Y'all are gonna struggle. Are y'all worried about that? I would be worried about that.
I am a little bit, but I also think that Palmer will help us break it down. I also think that this is where Raheem kind of shines a little bit because he plays well in small spaces. It's when he's got to make a decision that's the problem. I think that you play Raheem you sit Mudryk because he's really not going to help you much with his speed.
With no space, yeah.
Because there's no space. I think you play Broja in this one. He's going to be able to body up a little bit. And I feel a little more confident with him actually putting it on frame than Jackson. Even though Jackson's got goals in him, I feel more better with Broja, even though Broja was kind of terrible on the weekend. So, I think it's going to come down to Palmer. It really, really is. If he can create some space, hit that final pass, I think we can score. Thing I worry about is we keep, beating our head against the wall, and they hit us on a counter. And
that'll be the plan.
And somebody gets out of position.
That's what they're gonna do.
Yeah. So,
but y'all they're bad though. Y'all have to smash them. We beat them 5-0.
Yeah, but
they tried that low block stuff.
We know every team knows they can play us. Give us 30 shots. We're not gonna hit one.
Y'all don't defend the back post, and they love a cross.
But saying, God forbid it's a set piece. We know you got the back post.
That's like how they, Plus, it's
right.
like new manager bounce. Check out the spotlight of the week I just did on Chris Wilder, the new coach over there. I'll put the card up there so you can check that video out. But yeah, they saved the bounce till after the Liverpool game. They've beaten Brentford. I guess Noah Mbeumo probably had a huge effect on that one, but this is a little tricky. This is going to be a tricky one. I feel like definitely going to be.
Well, I think if it was at the bridge, if it wasn't at the bridge, I'd be a little bit more concerned. Just truthfully, the way our road performance is. I think after 2 tough weeks on the road, it'll be good to have them in front of the bridge. I think the fans will be up for it. I think the key is to get an early one. I think if you get an early one, you pull them out a little bit. And, at that point you can get 2 or 3, because you can then hit them on the counter. And even if you're not playing a Mudryk, even hitting them on the counter, it's still going to be there. Even if it's not with Mudryk, you can do it with Raheem. You can do it, Gallagher even. My thing is, I hope that we don't get impatient and just start launching from outside the box.
The Liverpool fan in C19 is going to be catching balls left and right, huh?
Spurs fans.
The Spurs fan. Y'all let Spurs fans into your stadium?
No. He's gonna show up as a Sheffield United fan and sit away from the away fans and pull out a Spurs jersey. Sort of like that guy that we saw in Atlanta when we were Chelsea, and the Spurs fan just shows up randomly out of nowhere.
You were wearing a different jersey a minute ago, weren't you, sir? I always bring my Spurs jersey underneath anything, Good grief, man. Oh, man. But I think, if you can score early, but if it's the 75th minute, 0-0,
we'll panic.
That could get, because we haven't really seen
no panic.
We haven't really seen Poch have a backup plan. We haven't seen him really okay, we're gonna go to you because I'm changing this tactically, and and say Mud Dog coming in is gonna be able to do this differently. It's all kind of been plugged into the same system.
And that's where I think if Nkunku really does get a sub appearance, I hope it's 20, 25 minutes. I think that would be where you could see actually a change in tactics, because then at that point you're going to be playing off of him, which means, you've got Palmer, and you'll have Raheem and maybe Mudryk at that point, who are going to be playing off of him, and he'll create some space. He'll pull some guys out. That's the biggest thing is we can't pull anybody out because there's no threat from Jackson. There's no threat from Broja. It's all coming from the wings. So if I see us trying to cross it in over and over again, especially in the air, I'm probably going to throw something. I'm going to be honest with you. Maybe with Broja, I'm okay with it because he's able to body up people. But if it's Jackson, I will throw something at that point.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Jackson should start at all.
No.
What do you think about this one, Lewis?
I'm looking Chelsea are. I can't even call them Jekyll and Hyde because there's not enough consistency on either side for them to beat Jekyll and Hyde. But I think Sheffield is not good, right? And there was a new manager bounce, but it wasn't like a bounce. I think it's false because I think they're not good. And Chelsea, strangely enough, I think they had two games away from home, and clearly they don't like playing on the road because They get some rough results on the road, man, especially the last 3. But
We
when
lose
they're
our
at
head.
home,
We lose our head on the road.
Yeah, they've given 8 goals in the last 3 games away from home.
and is that I think there's a degree of professionalism in them. Not to say they're like not mature, but I think when they're at home, they tend to show up. So I think just because, and I look at it like
we're immature. You don't even have to say we're not mature. We're immature. There's no question about it.
And so I look at that and I say, well, I mean, truthfully, Sheffield is just not good. And I would say that you for sure are better than or equal to Burnley. And if you're better than or equal to Burnley, I think you should be fine. I mean, you might have a scare here and there, but I think you'll win the game. And if you don't win the game, then depending, I guess it's the performance where I'll ask the question. Depending on the performance and how the manager reacts will be where the questions will be asked. Because if the manager makes moves to adjust it because of player performance, then you have to ask questions about the players. But if the manager makes wrong moves tactically, then you have to ask questions to the manager. And I don't know which one it is right now, right? I mean, because you show up for some games and you don't show up for others, and I don't know which one that is, right? I mean, we can say, sort of in theory, it's always on the manager, but the manager can't play the game, and the manager also doesn't just get to run up and down the field and make money, They fire managers, they don't fire players.
I agree with that.
Which is weird.
It's about setting up your team for success. And there are times where I feel like that's not the case.
Yeah, and I agree with that. But
playing Levi Colwell as a freaking left back, I can't. I just can't.
I mean,
sorry.
I agree with that, but the thing about it is that the manager had to have seen something. So at that point, you do kind of have to ask the question of the manager let you know and showed you something before this game that you're going to play. So play. I mean, I just feel like that at some point you got to put the managers can't score the goals. It's the reason why people have acknowledged like Michael Jordan is considered one of the greatest players ever. He couldn't coach or pick a player worth a damn. And that's because he's looking for himself and other people. But when guys are good managers, they understand that when they pick a person to be in the place, they expect them to do the job. And if they don't do the job, then, then the manager really has to ask questions of either do you have sufficient supply where you want the job done, or has this person shown you one thing and produced something else? And so that's where I'd say you can ask the question of the manager dependent on how the players play. I mean, you guys are really facing a difficult one with injuries and suspensions and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's pulling, from the cabinet where your food needs some salt in it, and all you have is garlic salt. So you got to put garlic salt in there instead of regular salt because you don't want it to be bland. And so, I mean, I don't know if we did predictions, but if we're doing predictions, I think Chelsea wins 2-1. I think it's a close 2-1 because I think they're better. I just think that the maturity will show up. I don't know if they'll score early, but I was looking here. It shows that, hey, you haven't kept the clean sheet in 6 matches. So I really don't expect you to keep one this time. But it also says Sheffield has not won away in their last 7 matches, and I think that'll hold as well. 2-1.
Speaking of predictions, we'll go ahead and pop this up since we're getting into it. Patrick's still on top at 179. Lewis, you're there on second with 174. I got 160 and X is on 155. And I actually disagree with the assertion that Chelsea can't get a shutout. I think that, like I said, super low block incoming. Chelsea will struggle, but I think it's going to be 1-0. I think you're just going to edge it, going to find a go in. I could see you even getting that early goal and then missing a host of other chances and still edging it out. So I've gone with 1-0.
I've gone with 3-1 because I don't trust us to get a clean sheet, but we've missed in our most previous games, we missed some early shots to take a lead. I think we get one this time. I think that we get it to 2 before the 60th minute. They score in the 75th minute, somewhere around there. We kind of flip out for a little bit, and then like in the 88th, we finish it 3-1.
Cole Palmer dusts it off.
And Cuckoo
with the relief goal. And Cuckoo comes in for the relief.
Cuckoo gets it, man.
For the relief goal.
Talk about absolute insanity if he plays and if he scores. Like, everybody will be like,
yeah,
oh my God, we have somebody who scores. But yeah, I think you can't start Jackson. But it's got to be Broja. Unless you're going to do like a false 9. But even then, it's got to be Broja.
Jackson can't do a false 9. Does Broja score is the question.
I'm going to say no.
But you get 3 goals?
Sterling, Badiashile on a header, on a corner, and then Nkunku for the third.
Well, there you go. Absolutely. We will get Xavier's prediction when he returns. I have no idea. I have him here on the bottom there, but he's not in his picture. So whenever he returns, I will return him to the screen. But for now, we will move on to the main course of the weekend. Liverpool hosting Manchester United at Anfield. And I'm looking for Eric Sevenhog to increase his name right back to Eric Ten Hag. Is this the 10-0, Lewis?
Dude, I'm looking at the last, like, they got 7-0 the last time, right? And and it was at Anfield as well. And I just, the funny thing, and I'm being honest, right? Now, Manchester United are fully 100% Jekyll and Hyde. That's it. I couldn't say it to Chelsea. Man U is that. And the reason I'm saying that is because somehow they are in a place where you were like, based on what I see and the results that I'm seeing, they shouldn't be where they are, but somehow they're here. And so it's confusing. I mean, they're not in Europe, but they're where they are, right? And
right.
I look at this and I looked at, like, I pulled up their like injury suspended players thing. It's like a page full of stuff, man. Like everybody is just like hurt or suspended or just whatever, right? And while we make the jokes about like a lot of goals being scored, and Liverpool scored 7 on them last time, like, how often have you seen like teams drop 6-7-0ers on a team? Doesn't happen a lot.
No.
I mean, so my idea is I think I picked them not in their last fixture to do okay, and they didn't. They lost. So I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, Salah is I think he's gonna rip them up, but then I don't know. Right.
So does Michelle here. She definitely thinks Salah's gonna rip him up.
Well, because like I mean
I'd love it for my fantasy team because he will be captain this weekend.
Yes.
I mean, Liverpool played their kids in Europa this weekend.
Yeah, and lost.
And they let the headlines be all weird of like Liverpool lost, and then you looked at the team and it was like not one person who's going to start a real game.
Yeah.
In there. They could have called the taxi cab driver outside the stadium to play in that game. That's how serious they took it.
I called Klopp, right after I called Pep to see if we could get in the city team, I called Klopp to see if he'd get us in the pool team. He didn't answer.
But it's weird. I'm going to say that if I'm looking at Liverpool, I mean, I expect them to win. So there's no question I don't expect them to win. And Alisson has literally done cartwheels in front of that goal. So I don't really expect them to do anything, right? And if you look at their last results, I mean, they've won all the games that counted, because I'm not counting today's game. That's not a real game. But in every other game, they've been scored on. So in this one, if form holds, they shouldn't get scored on based on that, right? So I think it'll be 2-0. I think it'll be 2-0 Liverpool. And I know people want them to get battered, but I just don't get it. And then looking here, it says that United hadn't scored in their last 2 matches. And United are not good. And apparently, I mean, there's the rumblings of Graham Potter is just preparing his luggage to come to take over the Manchester United Red Devils. So
I've heard that too.
If that is indeed the case, then it kind of is what it is.
So I mean, what if just since you brought that up, how terrible would it be for X if Potter was actually good at United?
Oh, he would cry. He would be so upset if Potter turned them around.
Well, but for 2 reasons. The first reason is because he hated on him, but it's actually an indictment of Chelsea.
Yeah,
massive.
100%.
Because United is a train wreck as well.
But you could turn around and say, well, with Chelsea, and I'm not making this excuse by any means. With Chelsea, they got rid of all of the issues that were under Potter after he left.
What, they actually started going to training instead of the swimming pool?
I know, right? No, I mean, just there were so many transfers out, and it seemed throw in, of course, the rec days and whatnot. But it seemed like there was a lot of players that did not like playing for him directly. So that's going to be interesting to see how, if he goes to United, how that locker room actually approaches him.
Well, I personally don't think that Ten Hag is going to get fired. Not yet.
I mean, what's the threshold? If they get thrashed, if it's super embarrassing.
Well, if it's super embarrassing, yeah. But I mean, they're already on several embarrassments. I think if it's a 2-0, nothing will happen.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
To the January window, try to fix the team and make a move. And I think it'll depend on how December sort of plays out.
Yeah. Well, not that I'm trying to change your prediction because I think it's massively conservative. Bruno out. Speculation on whether he did that on purpose. Kind of looks like it to me. He knew what he was doing at the end of the game there. Maguire out. Luke Shaw is out. It's
still got Scotty McTominay.
Yeah, the Scottish Messi to the rescue. Or is that McGessie? I've heard him called. But it could be bad. This could be really, really bad, like most people are saying. There is a world where it's 7 again, but I think it's going to be super low block. I think it's just going to be that's where United have had the most success under Ten Hag, honestly. A firing Rashford and a low block sit and counter style. And I think that since everyone and their grandmother is expecting a thrashing, you have to know that or I at least believe that Ten Hag has that in the back of his head. We don't want to get smashed here. And if we come out and try to play with Poole and give them space,
but they're not strong defensively. So what do you do in that situation?
Just don't have any space. Just don't let there be any space on the field. Give them 60 yards, and then when there's 30 yards of, make them play inside 25, 30 yards of the field and get 11 guys inside there. That's the only thing I could think of.
Roberto Di Matteo at Barcelona in 2012.
Yeah.
2012.
Yeah. Some straight up, just leave the D in the box. Don't ever even, you don't got to push up at all. Just leave everyone in the box and have one guy. Just let, I would play not Højlund. I would play Martial to let him run around. He can run around a bit more in this particular strategy. maybe. Yeah, no, that's it. I would just leave Martial up top. You run around, buddy.
Leicester versus City.
Yes, Leicester City settings. Absolute Leicester settings. I don't because if they come out and they start trying to play, we're Man United. This is we're Man United. It's not Old Trafford, it's Anfield. And we're gonna come out and try to flex some muscles, try to play. If they start like that, they'll get blasted immediately.
Yeah.
Like the first mistake they make and it gets punished. Like if they go down 1-0 less than 10 minutes in, it could be bad. They could capitulate. And you might say, "Oh, well, Captain Capitulate is not on the field. He won't be playing." And so but then that begs the question, who's going to lead when the adversity comes? They're going to get scored on. You're going to give a goal. At least. So who is going to be the guy that galvanizes the squad? Is it really that dire of a situation that the go-to guy is Scott McTominay?
Yeah, it is.
Like,
decides to do something that he hasn't done in pretty much 9 months.
Is Mount even gonna play? Kobe Mainu will probably play in front of Mount. Ten Hag hates Mount. Didn't you sign him? Didn't you want him?
He did.
And we haven't. Is he? He's got to be healthy by now, right?
Yeah, he is.
Is he on Jadon Sancho settings? Like, is he's chilling with Sancho, eating lunch in the car park? Like, what? I don't understand.
Let's see. Let's see.
I don't get it.
Is on old Mason Mount
because it's looking like it's going to be McTominay and Mainu in the middle. Heaven forbid it's Eriksen.
No.
McTominay, Amrabat, and Eriksen.
Eriksen's out.
Is he out? Yeah, that's probably for the best.
Martial is doubtful, so I don't know if he'll play either.
No, it'll be Højlund. Højlund will definitely play for the hold-up.
Okay. So,
I was saying my strategy would have Martial, but United fans are probably glad I'm not their coach.
So Mount on November 24th, so it's still too early, was feared to be out for a month after suffering a calf injury ahead of Manchester United's game against Everton on Sunday. So no Mount. Yeah.
They're. I mean, would I enjoy seeing a shellacking? Yes and no. Yes, because ha ha ha, but no, because Liverpool are on the top of the table, so I don't really want to see him like destroy anybody. That doesn't do anything for me.
Sorry, my dog needs some medicine.
Fine, and I would hope
2 minutes early.
Yeah, but what was it saying about Mount?
He had a calf injury as of November 24th, and it was feared that he'll be out for a month. So
he's gone. He's not in either.
Yeah.
The team basically picks itself then, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't even have anybody because with no Bruno, it's like who else is there? I can't even. Casemiro's the greatest center defensive midfielder of all time. I haven't even heard him called out, and he's out too, right?
Yeah, I think so.
So since Maguire's out, the best center back at the club probably comes back in, Varane.
Yeah. And then, of course, you have what, Lindelof?
Will it be Lindelof? Ooh. Yeah. So they're I mean, I can't even think of how who's gonna play. It's gonna have to be Reguilon, Lindelof, Varane, and Wan-Bissaka is who it'll have to be. They don't have They don't have anybody else.
Destroyed. Reguilon's going to get absolutely destroyed.
Mo Salah's going to have a field day.
So much.
Mo Salah will have an absolute field day, for sure. But having said all that, I do think the lack of space for Liverpool will keep them from scoring 10 goals like I really want. You know, it's funny. I was thinking about this one and what I would want to see happen. And let's not get it twisted. I detest Manchester United. Like, only Spurs do I hate more than United. And it's real close. You know, it's really, really close. Spurs I hate just because. United, they're long memories of hating them over many, many, many seasons. So it's a little bit different. And as much as I respect Liverpool as a title challenger this season and need to cheer against title challengers, that's why I'm always cheering against City, I would love nothing more than to see United get decimated. Just embarrassed again and again and again and again and again. I love seeing that. So yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it's 7-0, but I have gone for 3-1. I think McTominay will pop up. You know, United's best player. How far have they fallen that we're talking about? McTominay's the go-to guy. He's the best player. This is not your grandpa's Manchester United. I'll tell you that right now, man.
Nope.
Yeah, I said 3-1. I think Liverpool will win comfortably, but I do think they'll give a goal. And unfortunately, it will not be the bloodbath we're all hoping to see. But, I got my fingers crossed. Maybe I'm wrong.
So my thing is Liverpool and United are rivals, and I'm not so sure that Liverpool sees United as a rival anymore, just because it's been so lopsided, and I think at times that can cause some complacency, and so I do think United early on kind of punches them in the face. Just
really.
Just a little bit. I'm not talking about a knockout by any means. Could see them maybe getting an early goal, and then then Liverpool snaps to it, and they do what they do. And honestly, let's be honest. Liverpool in that first 15, 20 minutes, for some reasons, they're still like that. What's up with him today? Kind of,
Yeah.
And I think United can get a goal off of that. That said, I've got Poole smashing them. I've got it 5-1. I think that Poole gets a wake up call early, and they get up like 3-1 at the half, and then Klopp does his magic at halftime in terms of figuring out what he's going to do tactically wise. After the 60th minute, and they get 2 more.
Yeah, I know from just horrific experience that even if Liverpool don't come out the blocks firing, just ask Granit Xhaka. It only takes one little thing, one little moment in the game, and then they're all over you. Then they're it's damn the torpedoes.
It's a blitzkrieg.
And then, and it's just wave after wave after Trent Alexander shot after Noodles and Salah and Gakpo and Jota and Diaz. It's yeah. So even if United do score first, I think it'll be worse if they score first. If Poole kind of, are just cruising, I think my scoreline will be closer. Maybe Lewis's 2-0. But I think if United score first, I think they might get hit for 5 or 6.
Now, I would be a different person than myself to not offer the alternate universe of what if United win.
Honestly, if United win, I'm still happy. because
Honestly,
I need Poole to lose.
I'm about ready to just call it a day on picks because that will make no sense whatsoever.
I
Yeah.
mean, have you watched them this year? Nothing they do makes sense, man. You know, and
Yeah,
I
but I mean, they're down Bruno, they're down Maguire,
maybe
whatever
they
you want
find
to think
it
about him.
correct.
He's actually played pretty well for them this year, even though it's not been great. I'm not saying it's been great by any means. And then who was the other one you said they were going to be down?
Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw's out again. Maguire's out.
So, I
Shaw,
mean,
Mount, Bruno.
down 3 starters. Rashford isn't scoring.
If United win, we're folding in the predictions league.
I'm done at that point because you can't figure it out.
No, it's just.
But can you? Because I mean, we don't play games on paper. Who knows what happened? Because what if in the game, and I'm not wishing this because I want him to play the whole season. What if Salah gets hurt during the game, right, or something like that? Because I mean, it takes only one rash something, and you just studs up.
They'll just move Trent, even further forward. If
Trent will play winger.
He'll play winger at that point. He'll be so happy to play winger, he won't even have to try to play defense.
But this is the reason why they play the games, because you got to play them. And so, I mean, while it makes sense to me, based on form, quality of team, the history of this season only, Liverpool should smack them. But United are in the top 6, and I don't know how. I don't know how.
Because we are farmers. Hold on, let me get my pitchfork. Let me get my pitchfork right quick. Are you joking me?
And then if we, I mean, and I'm being honest here, man. If you
the Old Trafford effect, you can't. I mean, if this was at Old Trafford, hey, maybe they pull something, but no, not at Liverpool,
not at Anfield, man.
I agree, but I mean,
they're like 27 unbeaten or something dumb at home. Liverpool is.
Yeah. But I mean, streaks start somewhere, right? So
eras come to an end.
all of that streak starts somewhere or whatever. So I mean,
you're really trying hard to convince yourself here. You know that, right?
Well, I'm not trying to convince myself because I didn't pick them, but I do think it matters to at least address the other side. I mean, Spurs beat Liverpool, and I mean, we didn't think Spurs were anything. Brighton drew them.
You can't look at the Spurs Liverpool game and take anything about Liverpool were the better team and were cheated. That game's a write-off.
But I'm just saying, I mean, we can literally pull, and that's why I only said this season, we can pull things and say there's moments where they're not perfect. So,
that was at Luton, though. Luton.
All those I hear you on all of that. But I'm just saying, if we're gonna take into account that it could happen, which I mean clearly you all don't agree with. I'm just saying, and I don't agree with because I didn't pick them. But I'm just saying, I'm not shocked if it happens, but I will be shocked if they beat them.
Yeah, I would definitely be shocked, but it'd be great for the for the Arsenal, of course. As Liverpool are title challengers, but yeah. I can't see United winning. I personally already think the loss to Bournemouth is a sackable offense, so I think Ten Hag should already be gone. But they're kind of in the same boat we were talking about with Poch. If Poch goes, who comes in? And if Graham Potter comes in, I'll be rejoicing. I will be singing to the heavens if Graham Potter comes into Manchester United, because that'll be embarrassing. And I'll absolutely love that. But yeah, I just think I don't see it happening. Don't see it happening at all. And speaking of games that I don't see anything positive for the away side, Crystal Palace visiting the Empty Had for another massacre.
First and foremost, will Haaland play?
Doesn't matter.
It actually, being honest, I agree. It doesn't matter if he plays because everybody else is back.
But will he? Do you know if he will or not? I haven't heard anything about it. He obviously didn't play in the Champions League.
Oh no, Pep said he was return. He said he returned to training was going to return to training the day after the Champions League game. So it basically was rest.
Yeah.
So he will very likely start. Doku is doubtful, but he'll probably be on the bench. Grealish is doubtful, but he's going to play. So the only person that's missing is De Bruyne, which we don't expect him to even touch the bench until maybe the finals of the Club World Cup, which I think he'll just be included to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. Obviously, I don't think you're going to need Holland. Excuse me, De Bruyne. I mean, not going to need Holland either, but definitely if he plays, no Eze. Elise's not really been back at it. Palace.
No IU. I mean, I'm just saying.
It's probably for the best, man. It's probably for the best.
Do the hatchet man work.
Do the conning the referee work. Yeah.
I mean, the City at home, they do what they do at home. Now, I mean, they obviously have to show up. It'd be nice for them to get a good one in before they go do some other stuff. But I mean, I don't really have a ton to say about this. I mean, they played the kids, and the kids looked good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you want to speak on the Champions League game? Because I thought they looked good as well.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in the fact that they let 2 in. Because I mean, it
was one-way traffic in that first half, though.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm disappointed they let 2 go because they were up 2-0, and there's no reason that should even happen. I mean, Ortega played well. You had the kids there. It's good to say that all 3 people who scored that was their first goals as City players.
Oscar Bob's goal was good. Yeah.
You got the ball boy from 5 years ago who's now played in the first team and is literally scoring in the Champions League. And
that's fantastic.
I mean, couldn't have written a better
How did
story.
Rico look?
He was decent.
Rico is a regular first teamer, I mean, he's a squad player, so he's for sure playing well. I mean, you didn't expect to see anybody, but this game was a really good game for guys to get a run out, to get their sharpness, like Grealish and Stones, to get Nunez to at least get a flow of
some minutes. Calvin Phillips played.
He scored, and apparently that game was his last one. So if it was his last game on the field in the City uniform, I'm glad he got a goal in the Champions League. And
something to remember his time by.
And if it is the last one, because I mean, if this is the last chance he gets to play, because I doubt he plays in the Club World Cup unless City is winning the final by like 10-0. Then I don't really foresee any of that. But I mean, I'm disappointed they let 2 win, but I mean, the game was theirs. They controlled the game the whole time, and this was with kids. Everybody who needed to get a rest got a rest, and I'm looking forward. They should handle business with against Palace, but I mean, it's one of those seasons where this is how they are in the first half, which is, I don't know if befuddling is the right word. It's annoying and befuddling at the same time because they know they should be better. But I guess they just have to get turned on. Maybe they like the New Year's beer or champagne or whatever. That's what wakes them up.
Yeah.
But I think they win. I think they win. I think they get a clean sheet in this one. I think they win 2-0.
Do you think that complacency will be there? Because I'm sure they know how bad Palace are.
I don't think they will be there because if I'm not, I think I got the schedule in my head right. This game is the
Sunday.
last. Yeah, but this is the last one before they go to Club World Cup.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
they got to go in because they play Saturday against Palace and then they play Tuesday.
Is it Saturday?
Yeah, they play Saturday against Palace and then they play the Club World Cup on Tuesday. So, I mean, you got to get form right before you go to. I think it's in Saudi Arabia.
Who are you?
Saudi Arabia, yeah.
Who are you playing?
They play the winner of Lebanese and Al Halai or Al.
No, we play the winner of. We play the winner of Leon and Uruguay Red Diamonds. That's what it says now. It looks like it's updated.
No.
That's what I'm
looking at right now. You play winner of match 2. I'm sorry. You play Fluminense, who plays. Okay. The next match is Fluminense against the winner of match 2. And then for match 2, you play the winner of match 3, which is Fluminense versus.
But what I'm looking at is Fluminense plays the winner of Al Ittihad and Al Ahly.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then you play the winner of that match.
No, but that's a semifinal. So we have a semifinal game. They have a semifinal on the 18th. And Fluminense plays the winner of Al Ittihad and Al Ahly. And then City plays Lyon and the Uruguay Red Diamonds on the 19th. So they play the day apart. And then those two winners will play in the final.
It's like a really truncated schedule.
Well, there's the game on the 18th, which is what day is that? Is that a Saturday? I think that's a Saturday. Yeah, no, Monday. So
confusing.
The first
This is very confusing.
The first semifinal is Monday. The second semifinal is Tuesday. And then I'm almost sure that then the final, because City plays again on Saturday, which is canceled. So the final's on Saturday.
Yeah. So y'all are actually missing that many. You're missing one Premier League game and one League Cup game?
Yeah, week 18.
We're not in the League Cup anymore.
So you're only missing one game.
Yeah, Brentford. That's it.
Yeah. That's not that bad. I thought it was like longer. Yeah.
No, it's just 2 games. So it's Tuesday and then Saturday.
And, well, do you think that'll be in their mind at all at Palace or versus Palace?
Yes, that's why I think they'll play well, because they got to get form now. Because if you don't get form now before you fly over to Saudi Arabia, then when you gonna get it? You gonna wait for the game? That's stupid.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I think. Combination of, City can beat Palace in second gear, and Palace have been really poor, definitely away from home. And I don't think City will be in second gear. I think they'll show up, they'll play, they'll do their thing, and they'll win 4-0. I've watched Palace in the last couple of games, and it's been embarrassing. It's been really poor. So I think they're going to be on the end of a hiding here.
I went with 3-0 City.
Mm-hmm.
I think they kind of coast in the second half. They get up 2-0 by the half. They score another one, and it's just chill time.
Yep. I can definitely see it.
Because, there's still a lot of, match congestion because they play. Is this the last one? Okay, so this is the last one for them, right? But until they get back from the. Well, no, hold on. No, they play. Okay. I'm so confused right now. Give me a second. Okay.
So they play Palace, and then it's the Club World Cup.
Okay, Club World Cup. Then they play the 27th against Everton.
Yeah. On Wednesday.
Okay. And then Sheffield United on the 30th.
Should be an easy run for City.
And then they come back from the winter break and play Newcastle at Newcastle.
Ooh.
To start.
Chelsea start the new year.
At home.
Yeah.
We like it.
Yeah. Kick the new year off right with a barnstormer. But yeah, I don't see City having any trouble at all with Crystal Palace and old Roy. But a game that I do think will be a bit spicier. The Arsenal hosting Brighton at the Emirates Stadium, where the Gulls have quite a good record. They've actually won the last 3 visits to the Emirates, and
really?
Yes, they have. They smashed us.
Pretty much
smashed us last season, and it's not a result that I try to remember. And then the year before that was like 3-1. They beat us.
Man, they got a pretty freaking good record against you.
So they have a good record. We smashed them at the Amex. I don't know how we traded thrashings at the other team's ground last season. But I think Brighton is probably the best time to play Brighton, to be honest with you. they're struggling. Got like 2 wins and 9, 2 wins and 8, or something like that. In all competitions, make it 3. I'm pretty sure they beat Marseille today, but I watched some of it. It was a Herculean effort, and they won it at the death.
But they carry on in Europe, not like some teams.
Yes, they won the group. Very important to avoid the Champions League dropouts. And so they'll definitely be boosted by that, but I think they'll also have a bit of a hangover. I think they'll be kind of tired. They are walking wounded. They will have Lewis Dunk back, so that's big. Obviously Matoma is going to be one to look out for. But I think that we should handle business. I definitely think that it depends on how Arteta approaches this, and if he gives Brighton, as much respect as I think he should, then this could be kind of a boring game, kind of a we just lock them down, don't give them much at all, and it's going to come down once again to Arsenal finishing their chances. We've consistently played fantastic defense and not given teams much going the other way. And when we've struggled is when we don't finish our chances. We should have beat Villa. Martin's got to score. If we score, if we can capitalize on the chances Brighton will give us, because they have not kept a clean sheet all season, then we should be able to score 3, maybe 4 goals if we take our chances, which is a huge if. And that's been Arsenal's biggest issue this season, I feel like. And so we know what Brighton are going to do, and we know what they're capable of. So we definitely have to, maintain our consistency with the way we press. I'm thinking, knowing Arteta, he's probably going to play Havertz in the left 8, but I don't think this is necessarily like the best game. It's most suited for Havertz. I wouldn't mind seeing Trossard in there in the left 8, to be honest with you. This is going to be more of a technical ball on the ground kind of game that, I don't see a lot of long ball knockdown kind of, having to win second balls all day long. I don't really see that kind of being this, the way this game goes. So I wouldn't mind seeing Trossard in the left 8. Other than that, I think it'll be pretty standard from Arsenal. Tomiyasu's still out, so it'll still be Zinchenko and Ben White. Why is that funny?
Ben White's going to be facing Matoma, right?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Declan Rice, you're going to be doing some covering, buddy. Saliba, you need to keep an eye on that one. Y'all going to keep an eye on your boy, because that's going to be – that could be long, as they say across the pond. Man. I think Matoma might get a little isolated. I think that we can boss the midfield, especially with Declan Rice in there. So I'm not too worried about it, but yeah, Ben White's been crap the last few games. And so, on form, it's looking a little worrisome, but I think we'll be all right. I did give them a goal in my prediction. So, I've said the Arsenal will win 3-1. Got to back the boys, of course. As far as, what we get out of the Champions League game, no one got injured.
Yeah, exactly. That's all you're looking for.
Nothing.
We didn't even play the kids. We didn't even give anybody an opportunity. That game was a straight throwaway game, and I'm a little disappointed that Arteta didn't play the likes of Nwaneri and Walters and Luce Skelly, but I thought Reece Nelson was decent. I thought Cedric was actually decent. Someone who might not ever see the pitch again. Mo Elneny may have played his last game.
Wow.
Injured him.
There forever.
Injured himself again. Played for 70 minutes and he's injured again. Like, bro, you're fourth choice to begin with, but you can't stay healthy.
James.
Yeah, man, it's Thomas Partey settings. Like, dude, you're just never healthy. Speaking of Thomas Partey, was on the Arsenal Instagram doing a recovery workout, so he's close. I don't know if he'll be
AFCON and
and to get injured with Ghana. Yeah. Good grief, man. I don't even. But bye, Felicia.
Perfect.
You know what I mean? Bye, Felicia. See ya. I'm done with it. I'm a fan. I love Thomas Partey, for the 9 minutes he's healthy every season. So it'll be we'll be all right without him, I think. He's just never fit enough to get any consistency in the team. Just is what it is, man. And I think there will be chances. I think that we'll definitely dominate the ball, but I also think that we'll cause turnovers. And so I think we definitely are going to have plenty of opportunities, and I think we'll score goals. We definitely want a little bit of revenge. There's a little bit of revenge, there for last season. But yeah, like I say, it's going to come down to finishing chances. And I'll be honest, as tired as I am of the Raya Ramsdale debate, Raya has not shown me that he's better. I don't know, maybe he's shown Arteta that he's better. He hasn't shown me that he's better. So, Ramsdale, I'm still in the same place. If Ramsdale plays, great. If Raya plays, all right, great, whatever. I think they're comparable. But I think the fact that Raya has been poor last 3 or 4 games means Ramsdale should get a chance. He did play in the Champions League, which
I was thinking. I thought I saw him play in the Champions
League. Kind of an insult, really. But you got us here, and you made some fantastic saves last season, and now that we have a game that doesn't mean anything, we'll let you play.
Yeah, this is just a kickabout, So
that's kind of how that felt.
We trust you, man. We trust you in this one.
That's kind of how that felt, and as a fan of Ramsdale, I don't really like it, but as a fan of the game, I understand. It's a ruthless business, and winning is all that matters. And so, if Arteta thinks Raya is the man, then that's who we're going to back. But yeah, I expect Declan Rice to be big in this one, as he always is. I think
it'll be an interesting matchup. Pascal Gross. He does a pretty good job. He's not Rice. I'm not even trying to put him in the same stratosphere. But Pascal Gross does play pretty well in the midfield for Brighton.
Yeah, they're different. They're different players, though.
Yeah,
Gross is not a bruiser. Gross doesn't have the ability to boss a midfield with his physicality. Now, with his skill, technique, and passing, sure. Yeah. But I don't think he's going to have, we're going to have the ball most of the time. He's not going to have that opportunity, and our press is going to cause problems. Literally everyone's press causes problems versus Brighton. They give the ball away so much.
Which is so crazy because last year they were fantastic against the press.
Well, I mean, they gave up goals last year. They scored lots of goals,
too. You had Pep out here saying that it was the best press in the world, that they could break down they were the best in the world at breaking down a press.
Maybe for a spell, maybe for a little bit, and maybe Pep was blowing smoke up somebody's ass, but they're definitely.
I just report it.
They're definitely decent, but it's not the first team. It's not even half the first team. There's so many people injured over at Brighton, and that's why I started the segment with I think it's the best time to play Brighton.
Oh yeah.
I think there's a world where we absolutely decimate them, or absolutely demolish them. But I've gone conservative with a 3-1, and it's a must win. We need to bounce back. If you're going to win this league, you can't be losing games.
You can't. You can't hang you. It can't be a hangover.
Yeah,
which I
and
guess
this is home too.
Y'all did play in the midweek, to kind of get that off. And I know it was a draw, right? It was 1-1, right?
Yeah, it's a draw, and we actually the guys that came in actually played decently. As far as a one-off objective look at the game, we actually played all right. PSV is not an easy place to go, and they were in the same boat though. They rotated and it kind of had the feel of a training match.
Speaking of PSV, have you seen the meme floating around where it's oh gosh, who was it? Who else was in your group? Was it Lons?
Lons and Sevilla.
Lons made the
Europa. They beat
Europa,
Sevilla
right?
in the last game. Yeah,
They beat Sevilla, and so it's like a bunch of the teams in Europa, and they're like, and it's a guy, and it's got a Lons.
I saw it. Yeah, they're celebrating because they don't have to play Sevilla.
Celebrate him because Sevilla is not here.
They knocked Sevilla out of Europa League.
We don't have a chance.
Yeah. Oh my God. Well, what you think about this one, Lewis?
I mean, I'm looking, and I think Arsenal, just on form overall, is a better team than Brighton. And Brighton, I mean, they have underperformed, but I think that's because they let so many players go, and then while also know they were going to stretch themselves playing in Europe. But then, you got a couple of things that go into what my prediction is that they're on a high because they advanced. So they're going to carry on. So even losing all the players, they're still going to get to go to play in the next stage of European football, which I'm sure the club is very happy about. I don't think that propels them anywhere like special, but looking at the results, I mean, the only game that was really weird from them was that Chelsea game, which they scored. So I expect them to score against you all, not because they're better than you or anything. I just think they score goals. And then looking at Arsenal's form, outside of that Lens game, I mean, every game has really been tight your last four. You got 2-1 versus Wolves, 4-3 versus Luton, 1-0 versus Villa, and then a draw today. And I think Arteta is like one of those creatures of habit where he likes to do things a certain way. So I don't really see him doing a ton of changes, which is weird because I think that plays a role in how the team plays. So I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw. I think Arsenal will be better, but I think Brighton will show up, and I think the fact that you're missing some players will play a role, but I think it'll be a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, I certainly don't like that prediction. I can tell you that much. I'll be upset with a 2-2 draw. I can tell you that. What you saying, Patrick?
I'm not calling for a draw. I'm going to give Arsenal this one. I actually kind of agree with a little bit of what Lewis says, but it's Arsenal at home. I think they find a way. I think that it's
like 12 unbeaten or something like that at home.
Yeah, I don't want to say it's like a wake-up call that Liverpool took the lead in the league, because it's not. I mean, y'all are fine. But I think it puts a little bit more pressure on you to perform consistently because of the way Liverpool is, because there's always a chance for them to go smash someone and just create a goal differential first off, and smash someone and then say, all right, got to match it, Yeah. I mean, just truthfully. So I gave an Arsenal 2-1 win against Brighton. But I could see it actually being a smashing. I really could. I think that there's the possibility there, but I think I worry about Matoma against Ben White. I'm going to be honest with you. That's a concern. A rather large concern when you really think about it. Also, where is Danny Welbeck? Is he injured?
Injured.
Man,
you're right, though. Like, White just gives too much space one-on-one defending. Matoma is not the guy to give space to.
That's the last guy you do that to.
And then, thank God, it's next week, Zinchenko versus Salah is already giving me nightmares. Yeah, Sal's
Y'all gotta
Sal's the right forward.
Y'all
Yeah,
gotta have this then, because next week with
yeah,
is it at Anfield or at the Emirates?
it's at Anfield.
Oh, dude.
So that I'm hoping that's not in their heads that we're not looking past Brighton. We can't look past Brighton.
No, you gotta have this one.
We got to show up in a big way. It's not going to be easy, and yeah, it's gonna be tricky. It's gonna be tricky, and I think the way we play this season will definitely suit us as far as keeping them kind of out of hands reach, at arm's length or whatever. And if we can, keep them from passing through us, as you say, and exert our will to make them hit the long ball, instead of playing through us, then we can mop up all the second balls. Declan Rice in there. I have all faith. We'll just mop up that kind of, if that's the way it turns out. And that's our strategy. That's our tactics, is to make the goalkeeper hit it long. That's pretty much what the plan is in the press. And that goalkeeper has not been the most assured this season, so he's worth a mistake or two. I just think they're so full of mistakes at the back. If we can pounce, and especially if we can pounce early, I think we'll be just fine. No, I don't think we're going to match the 10-0 that's going to happen at Anfield this week. So yeah, that goal difference might be an issue, but I think the most important thing, get the 3 points, stay on pace with Liverpool so that we can overtake them next week. And it's all I want for Christmas, guys. Just beat Pool and Brighton. You know what? Give me a double Christmas present. Pool and Brighton. Beat them both.
There you go.
6 points this week. That's what I need. You get a rest. We don't, we drop the League Cup, so we don't have to play midweek. Yeah, that was probably.
I think we play Newcastle midweek.
Y'all play Newcastle on Tuesday.
Yeah. All right.
That's gonna suck.
Smash.
That is gonna not be fun at all. But we turn around and play Liverpool in the FA Cup in the beginning of January. But at least that's at home. At least we don't have to go to Anfield back to back. But yeah, I'm obviously hoping for an Arsenal win against Brighton, and I think they 100% have what it takes. But yeah, we'll go ahead and move on to the rest of the league. I guess we'll start with tomorrow night. Spurs at Nottingham Forest. Kind of an interesting one. Forest away from home have been rough, and Spurs away from home also have been not as good. And so Forest at home could give them some trouble. But that being said, I still went with a 2-1 Spurs win. I just think the fact that they play the same way, no matter who's in there, and as much as I think Romero is a bit violent for my tastes, a bit rash, and hopefully he doesn't injure someone, which is, the bookies probably have a bet on that every single game, whether Romero is going to is he going to injure somebody, or is he going to get a red card? It's either one or the other. So despite that, I do think he definitely strengthens that back line. Basuma, Sarr in there. Oh, God. You hate it. You hate to say it, but yeah, 2-1 Spurs. Steve Cooper, under pressure. Lots of pressure. Keep going. But
so I'm looking here. Forest in their last 2 matches not won at home. They lost 3-2 to Brighton. They lost 1-0 to Everton. Then they got 5-0 at Fulham, and then they got a 1-1 at Monolou. So I think I'm going to go with Forest pulling off the upset.
Yes.
I'm going to go.
I love it.
I'm going to go 2-1 Forest.
Yes. You think Elanga will figure out the high line?
Yes.
My man Awani.
I don't think he's playing still. I think he's still injured.
No, he was in the last game. He played at Wolves. He played at Molineux. Yeah, I thought so. I definitely thought he played at Wolves.
Let's see.
But yeah, Anthony Elanga is the one I think that's been starting. I think he's been having a decent season. Yeah, so God, I would love to see Spurs lose again.
He did not play. November 23rd.
Who did I see playing? I mean,
November 23rd, Nottingham Forest. This is from Reuters.
Yeah.
November 23rd, Nottingham Forest forward Taiwo Awoniyi has had groin surgery and is expected to be out for months.
Wow. Yeah, I watched so many games. It all runs together sometimes.
Oh no, I'm sure. Yeah,
but still,
he's gonna be out for months. So that was 3 weeks ago. So
maybe it'll be Gibbs White in there as well. Probably. He's been having a decent season. But yeah, what you saying, Lewis?
Well, I'm looking right because I looking at Spurs, and Spurs score all the time, so they're for sure going to score. And then I looked at the last 4 results between the two teams. 3-1 Spurs, 2-0 Spurs, 2-0 Forest, and 3-1 Spurs, which leads me to a 3-1 for Spurs as well, specifically because Forest 3-2 close, 2-3 close, 1-0 close, and then they played a 1-1 draw against Wolves, and then they got smashed by Fulham. So I think it's a London thing. So I think London teams like this. So I'm gonna just go 3-1.
Yeah, I'm kind of
caddy.
yeah. I'm in that camp. Not the Youngman Son camp, but the unfortunate Spurs victory camp. But yeah,
Son may be out for Asian Cup.
Yeah, of course he's going. Of course.
No,
South Korea, man.
They're good.
They're some ballers, dude.
Talent.
Did you watch Kim Min-jae absolutely manhandle Hoyland?
He's fantastic.
Just didn't. Martial couldn't bother him. Hoyland couldn't. Nobody in that Man U team had nothing for Kim Min-jae. Dude is a beast. Then there's the guy who played yesterday for Paris. Kim, I don't know. I don't remember all their names. I don't remember all their names.
Yeah,
but I know it's 3 words. I know that much. But he was fantastic. Obviously Son, obviously Hwang Hee-chan from Wolves. Dude, they've got a squad, man. So they're definitely one to look out for if you're in the
U.S. avoid South Korea in 2026.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I'm on that train, definitely. But I think another interesting fixture this weekend, due to the fact that Fulham have hit 13 goals in 3 games. Off the back of that, they go to Newcastle. Tough one. And a tough one to call because of Fulham's recent form.
Actually, in their last 5, they've had 17 goals.
That's impressive.
They had 5 at home against West Ham, 5 at home against Forest. They scored 3 at Liverpool.
Mm-hmm.
They scored 3 at home against Wolves. And they scored 1 against Aston Villa.
Which is better than both City and Arsenal. So
and it was Villa. It was at Villa.
Yep.
At Villa. Just saying. So yeah, this one could be a tricky fixture for a Newcastle hangover for exiting Europe. a game in which they put in a Herculean effort against Milan in those ridiculous kits.
Let's talk about this, though. Yeah, they were terrible. As soon as the fans realized that they were advancing, it's like Newcastle just fell apart.
Yeah.
I mean, because it was like not even 5 minutes later, it was 1-1.
Started to go downhill for sure.
Truthfully, Milan should have had like 4.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. You love to see Christian Pulisic with the dagger blow to the heart of the tune. I loved that. I especially enjoyed that. Captain America.
It was nice. And then the second one, and then I don't know how Rafael Leao missed that. Like,
yeah, I couldn't believe it either.
Like, that was worse than a Mudryk miss.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. This is crazy. So yeah, I'm expecting a hangover, big time. That's why I've gone 2-2. Shock result.
Wow.
Shock result. Fulham get the 2-2. Newcastle, man, they just might. I just get this feeling that there's not gonna be at it as much, and I think they might get a surprise.
Well, their last 2 league games at home, they've scored 5 goals. They've had 4 against Chelsea, 1 against United, and then they went on the road and got smashed 3-0 by Everton, 4-1 by Tottenham.
Yeah, so it's.
Oh my gosh, their road form's terrible. Awful. They also lost 2-0 to Bournemouth on the road.
Yeah, they did. I watched that game. They were disgusting. They were terrible in that game.
And by the way, Chelsea gets them on the week or next week at home
in the League Cup. That's at the Bridge, or is that probably best?
Yeah,
y'all could edge that.
We could find a way.
I think you might find a way. Yeah. Maybe it's wishful thinking because I now hate Newcastle after this season for obvious reasons.
I know you enjoyed that though, just watching them just kind of fall apart there.
Oh, of course. Oh, it was glorious.
I mean, I got a friend. He sometimes watches us, and I can't hate on Newcastle, but it was as soon as Pulisic scored, I was like, okay, I'm invested now.
Yeah,
I want to see this through because I mean, honestly, this sounds stupid, but this is just me being a fan. I want to see Mbappe one last time with Paris in the knockouts. Strictly,
bring him to the Emirates. Bring him on. Bring him on. Bring him on. Let's go.
What I saw, which I don't know how I got it wrong. I thought the Newcastle went to the yellow wall. I didn't know that freaking.
It's because I told you. It's because I told you that last pod. It's because I told you that last episode like an idiot.
But you got to credit Milan. I mean, they wait. Hold on. Did PSG advance? They advanced, right?
PSG, yes, yeah.
Milan got into Europa. That's
right. Milan, by virtue of the draw, made it into Europa League.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna suck for whoever they have to play again. Whoever gets Milan in that's why Brighton needed to win versus Marseille, because now so they don't have to play AC Milan.
Yeah, exactly. Go to San Siro. But no, there's gonna be a hangover.
It's a tough one to call, isn't it?
Into it, they put so much.
It's a tough one. This is a tough one to call.
Let's go 3-2 Fulham.
Ooh, I like it. I got
a feeling my picks this week are gonna be terrible. By the way,
some real donkey picks. Oh man, yeah. The predictions have not been going well. We all scored 5 points last week. Bad. Okay, there was three different matches last week that we all got goose eggs on.
The United Bournemouth for sure.
It was Man U Bournemouth,
Chelsea,
Spurs Newcastle, and Chelsea.
Yeah.
Actually, I got a point in the Chelsea game, just the 1 point, because I said that Everton would score twice.
Oh, there you go.
I called a 2-2 draw.
Yeah, we weren't scoring a goal that day at all.
Yeah. So, well, what you saying about Fulham Newcastle, Lewis?
Well, I see Trippier is suspended and Tonali is suspended, and
but Dan Burns back because he played.
He played versus Milan. He came on versus Milan.
So because of that, and I looked at their form. I was looking at Newcastle specifically at home because the last couple of results, they've either won or drawn in the league at home, and I think there will be a bounce after that, but I'm thinking along. I wanted to say a 1-1 draw, but I'm gonna go 2-1 Fulham.
Yeah, I mean, if you could go and lead Liverpool at Anfield, lead them going into the 88th minute or 85th minute.
That was a fantastic game, too. That was a fantastic game.
I mean, Fulham belonged.
Yeah.
And no offense to Fulham for saying that, but, I mean, Fulham belonged. Yes, St. James is hard, but it's not Anfield.
It's no different than, I mean, I would say Anfield's tougher.
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Especially since Liverpool is most definitely in the race. That place is going to be an absolute hornet's nest every time someone goes there.
Yeah, don't remind me. It's already like in my head. It's been in my head for a couple weeks.
I feel like we're playing them soon too. I don't know why.
Yeah, I think you do right at the beginning of the year.
Look,
the return fixture.
So I could just whine about it.
Yeah.
We play them. Oh, my birthday, January 31st.
Well, there you go. Happy freaking birthday.
Oh, my birthday, you know.
At Anfield.
Maybe he'll get moved, you know. Maybe because that's a Wednesday.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Yeah, hey. I know exactly how that feels. Guess what my birthday was last year? Guess what game it was?
What?
City at the Emirates. Or City. Arsenal at the Etihad was on my birthday last year. And this season, my birthday is sandwiched between Chelsea at the Emirates and Arsenal at the Etihad. Again.
Wow.
What are you doing to me, Premier League?
And
what are you doing?
Is that's Chelsea's first match back from the winter break.
What are you doing?
So we got to go to Anfield after a 2-week break. Maybe we'll have Osimhen to score goals because he'll be out of AFCON and be able to play for us.
Yeah, I don't know.
AFCON ends. Oh no, it doesn't end until February 11th.
Jesus.
Yeah,
we actually won't be too hurt by that.
It starts January 13th and ends February 11th in the final.
Yeah, Arsenal won't be too hurt by that, you know.
Only one that would hurt us, I mean, technically, I think would be Jackson.
Yeah, Thomas Partey will go, but he didn't play anyway.
He doesn't play anyway, so yeah.
So it don't matter. But yeah, could be a tough day for Newcastle. Another game that is going to be interesting and it's going to be real tough to call is the West Ham Wolves game. Very even. It's at the London Stadium. So maybe West Ham might have the advantage. Maybe. I don't know. Going to be tough. I like Wolves this season. I definitely like Wolves this season. And because I couldn't really separate them, I've gone for a 2-2 draw. Tough one to call, man.
Yeah, it is. Bowen's healthy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They just took that 5-0 loss. Did they played today though? Let's take a look at this. Let's get some perspective. I'm pretty sure they've made it through. Didn't you tell me, Lewis?
Freiburg.
Yeah, everybody except United.
Yeah,
and Newcastle.
United and United. They are united in the fact that they didn't go through. But
Okay,
yeah.
so talking about form, right? West Ham beat Forest at home. They won on the road at Burnley. Then they drew at home to Crystal Palace. Then they lost at Tottenham and they lost at Fulham.
Yeah, that's a bad run.
That's a very bad run.
Ooh, they could be on the ropes a bit. Hwang Hee-chan coming in hot.
But okay, Wolves 1-1 at home against Forest, 1-0 against Burnley, 2-1 at the Emirates, 3-2 at Fulham, Fulham with a win, and then 2-1 at home against Tottenham. And Tottenham was really bad that day. Oh, this is a tough one. I'm gonna go 2-1 West Ham.
2-1 to the Hammers.
I just think they have a little bit too much firepower. I think their defense. I mean, you would think that there's going to be a bounce back from what happened against Fulham, but
should be a good one.
My goodness, the Thursday night NFL football game is 63-7 in the fourth quarter.
Well, when we started, I saw that the Raiders were up by 3 touchdowns. Good grief!
63-7, and the fourth quarter just started. We might see an 84 tonight. That'd be awesome.
That's crazy. Yeah.
There's your 10-0. There's your 10-1.
There's your 10-1. Yeah. What you thinking about the West Hammers and Wolves, Lewis?
West Ham outside of the Fulham match, and Fulham is in super form. West Ham has played everybody well. I mean, they beat Spurs, and they advanced in Europe. I don't see why the bubbles can't bubble on. So I'm gonna go with a 2-1. Yeah, 2-1 for the bubbles.
Yeah, I think perhaps the fact that it is at home might just give them the edge. Speaking of edges, Villa visit Brentford, and while Brentford's home form is decent and Villa's away form is not, no Mbomo is just devastating. Absolutely devastating for Brentford. As we know, they lost to Sheffield last weekend. And Villa are obviously flying high. I'm guessing they won today. I'm also guessing that it didn't matter at all.
They did not win.
They drew
1-1.
You try to say that name. Yeah, you try to say that.
Mostar.
Jay is silent.
I can say Bosnia and Herzegovina a lot better than I can say Zrinjski. I guess Mostar is a place. Mostar must be a city. So yeah, but they probably didn't play anybody as far as the starters.
I'll tell you who they started.
I expect them to walk, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they played
No.
Diaby.
Well, they played Zaniolo, Duran, Diaby, Douglas Luiz played, Consa started, Torres, Moreno, Cash all came in. Jacob Ramsey came in. Luka Dean started. Yeah, they started some. Diego Carlos started.
Can't play this weekend.
Huh?
Luka Dean can't play this weekend.
And neither can Luiz.
Really?
Yeah, he's suspended. He's on my fantasy team. I can't play him. It's tragic.
Doesn't change my pick. 2-0 Villa.
I'm playing 2 Sheffield United defenders against Chelsea because Trippier's out, Luka Dean's out.
Wow. That is what an indictment of the Chelsea, of your own Chelsea team, that you're gonna let's go Super Low Block FC, baby. Oh my god.
I hope they have a negative score.
Yeah, for real. Oh my god. But yeah, even with the suspensions, no Mbomo, man. I just lose all faith in Brentford. 2-0 Villa.
Yeah, that's what I went with too.
Yep.
They don't
1-1.
play well on the road, but it doesn't matter. I mean, if you can't score, they're eventually going to score on you. And then once they score, you'll come a little bit further out, and they'll hit you on another counter, and that's ball game.
Yeah.
1-1. Their last two matches against each other were draws.
Huh.
But
That's
Ivan
interesting.
Toney played as well as in Momo.
Yeah, that doesn't matter to me. I'm just looking at form, and Villa is a different team on the road. So
No, I agree with that. 100%. Chelsea should have beat them at home.
they've drawn the two games I'm looking at that they've played on the road. They drew both of them 1-1.
Yeah. Well, they almost beat Mostar. It was an 87th minute goal.
Yeah.
Almost wins nothing. It's a draw.
Fair enough. Yeah. Hey.
I love how he's just so like, I don't care.
Yeah. Hey, I love it. I love it when you guys pick something different than me, Patrick.
Sorry.
I don't listen to your picks. I listen to your arguments, but I never listen to your score.
Well, that's good to know. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You could just
for this. Yeah, so for this next game, Bournemouth hosting Luton. I have Bournemouth winning 94-1.
94-1. Well, I listened to the
Well,
argument.
you said you didn't listen.
Well, I mean, you normally say stuff before you say your score, though. So
That's fair. That's fair. So my evidence for this result. No, I think Bournemouth riding high. 3-0 win at Old Trafford.
I didn't realize how high they're riding.
Yeah. 4
out of their last 5 have been wins. And then they got a 2-2 against Villa.
Yeah. They're killing it right now. Yep. And this one's back at home for Bournemouth. I think they're going to dominate this game. But I think it'll be a physical battle. And I think that Luton are going to give them more than Man United did. And I laughed when I had that thought, but I've been impressed with Bournemouth of late. I think they will win 2-0. Not 94-1. Sorry, Lewis. 93-1.
Another direction then. So, looking at this, right? I thought Bournemouth should have won at least 4-0 against United. I think that we're a little bit jaded with, or maybe bamboozled a little bit with Luton, just because of how they've played at home. Their road form typically is not good. So I'm going to give Bournemouth the 4-0 that they should have gotten against United.
Nice. All right. They actually should have had 6.
No, I know 6 or 7.
Well, they had 2 goals disallowed. That would have made 5, and they hit the bar on another occasion. So they could have had 6, and I would have absolutely loved that. We might see that at Anfield though on Sunday. So
we're gonna tease it like that, and then somehow they're gonna find a way to win.
Yeah, that would just blow my mind. What happened?
Yeah, we lost. We can't move on without his.
We lost Lewis. Yeah, and the next game is the Sean Dyche derby. It's Burnley and Everton. Ooh. And Lewis is our resident Burnley aficionado.
Yeah,
or at least supporter because of old Vinny. But yeah, the Sean Dyche matchup here. And if you look at this, the players in this game, it's like this is like the crossover derby. Tarkowski, Burnley, and Everton. There's another player for Everton that
is it Ben Mee?
Yeah, well, that's another one. That's not who I was thinking of, but yeah, that's another one. So it's like it's a training match, and these guys are on the same, all on the same team, and so it's like blue versus red. But we'll get right back to that. Lewis, your prediction for Bournemouth and Luton?
I have no idea what happened, but I picked a 3-0. I especially didn't
3-0 to Luton Town.
It's even more important.
You're saying 3-0 to Bournemouth, right?
Yeah, 3.
So, like, he's going in and out, and I don't know if he's messing with me or if he actually thinks Luton is going to win 3-0. He's got to be messing with me. There's no way.
He's got to be.
There's no way he thinks Luton is. Now I'm curious. Like, is it a Rob Edwards masterclass?
No, it's 3-0. 3-0.
All right. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, but we had moved on to the Sean Dyche derby. We didn't know where you'd gone there, but yeah, there's a ton of crossover. Like Tarkowski played for Burnley and Everton. Ben Mee played for Burnley and Everton. I think there's one other player who has played for both Burnley and Everton. Obviously, Sean Dyche been at both clubs, and Sean Dyche is kind of who introduced me to Burnley. So but they're different gravy this season. But Everton, man, they're on a tear. Doing good. Haven't lost since the deduction. Should be in 8th place.
They did. They lost the first one to United, didn't they?
United 3-0.
That was before the deduction.
Oh, it was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That was right.
The same. I thought it was the same.
It might have been the same day. Yeah.
Yeah.
But still, they have lost since that.
They lose in this one. Let's go, Vinny. Vinny with the 2-1 win. Let's go. I don't even have to use logic. That's my pick.
The heart pick. We get a heart pick from Lewis, and he's channeling his inner Xavier. Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know if I can agree with that one. Everton have been stronger. They've looked good. Decore's started performing again. Onana's been performing again.
Dwight McNeil.
That's who I'm thinking of. Dwight McNeil has played for Burnley as well. That's who the other guy I was thinking of. So there's 4 guys on this pitch that have played for both sides. Yeah, I've said 2-1 Everton. I think they're going to be too much. Dwight McNeil is going to get a goal.
This was tough.
Kind of is.
Because Everton's flying high, right? But they have the backing of their fans at home. Now they got to go to Burnley, and Burnley's not great by any means, but they've shown some improvement. They got a 5-0 against Sheffield. They had a 1-0 at Monolulu that they lost, and then they got a 1-1 at Brighton.
Burnley are going to have most of the ball. Everton will sit and counter.
Yeah, that's what I worry about. Yeah, give me 2-1 Everton.
2-1 Everton, copying me again.
Sorry. I'm sitting here trying to figure out, okay, can Burnley pull it off? No. Okay. Can Burnley draw? More than likely not. So, I don't want to go crazy and say that Everton's going to drop a 4 on them because I don't think they would. But 2-1, 3-1, something around there. So I went conservative, went 2-1.
Yeah, I obviously agree with you. I think Everton will be just the better team. But yeah, there you have it. That's all the predictions in. We'll obviously get Xavier's predictions at some point tomorrow or later on. I hit him up, didn't get no response, so I have no idea what's going on there. We'll find out about him.
My
later
man
on,
just passed out from all of his working.
Yeah, probably he does keep it to the grindstone. So maybe just had to call it a night. But yeah. So yeah, there you have it. Liverpool hopefully absolutely decimate United. It's probably going to be a bloodbath at the Etihad. I'm hoping that Arsenal can give us a bloodbath at home to Brighton, and Chelsea have to beat Sheffield. Have to 100%. Why are you confused?
Oh, because Patrick was moving, but you weren't. Doesn't matter. Continue.
Am I moving now? Should I stand real still?
No, because Patrick was moving and doing stuff, and you were stuck. And I was like, well, that's confusing.
That's confusing.
I'm just messing with you. Yeah, I'm just messing with you now. Absolutely. But yeah, I definitely am excited about the Premier League weekend, which kicks off tomorrow. It's a Friday game. Forest and Spurs is tomorrow, I do believe. First time we've had a Friday game in a minute. Yeah, it's going to be a good one this weekend. And if you're as excited about it as we are, go ahead and smash the likes on the video. Subscribe if you're new. Of course, thanks for being here. We're on our way to 200 subscribers. And go ahead and get that notification bell on for all the updates, all the new videos. Hope you've had a good one, and I hope you have a good one. And you will see us next time.